Hey, if you just tuned in, man, we talking about the 10-year-old boy here in Milwaukee that murdered his mom. And it's not just that, but man, we the wrong two. When we start going in and start putting two and two together, we put on our investigative hats with our discernment hat. Yes, your ass, dude. Even if the president got some dirt, we gonna find it. That's how we get out.
Mm-hmm.
So, because this is spiritual business, we got our investigative cap on as well. Now, bro, while you in the lab, can you give us Leviticus 20 and 9 while you in the lab doing your thing? Can you give us Leviticus 20 and 9? And then I'm gonna keep expounding while you do your thing. If you just tuned into the word, we're talking about a 10-year-old boy that murdered his mother here in Milwaukee, and we're talking about how horrific that is, and then the aftermath of it needs to be talked about. Leviticus 20 verse 9.
Leviticus chapter 20 verse 9. For everyone that curseth his father or mother shall be surely put to death. He have cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon him.
The 10-year-old, he's cooked.
He's cooked.
He's cooked, okay? Not only did he curse his mother, but he murdered her.
Yeah.
So, you sisters out there, what would make your 10-year-old son go as far as to strategize a murder plot to assassinate you? Please enlighten us on what does that. It's easy to say mental health. Of course, something ain't right. But if his mental health was that bad, why wasn't he in an institution? Why wasn't he getting the proper medication to keep him out of the rage of going as far as he went? These questions need to be answered. And then again, where is the father? He ain't being talked about. Nothing. And the mother, the deceased mother, from all accounts, wasn't as sweet as it appeared to be. Okay, like the elder said earlier, it's people that went to school with her, know her. And the picture that the mother painted is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Then what's more realistic? Are we judging her? No. But what we are doing is we're looking at what's been put forth, brothers and sisters. If you got a 10-year-old, just know if something wrong with his ass or her, you better go get some proper help. Because the time that we are living in today, man, this murder is unheard of. A 10-year-old, he's charged as an adult, y'all, facing up to 60 years. And what's pissing me in the elder off is it's a lot missing to this story.
Mm-hmm.
So we're forced to put these pieces together and deliver this to y'all, because the edification of it is, if you're a parent, love on your children. And loving them don't necessarily mean patting them on the back. Loving them sometimes, what did it say? You don't spare the rod, you beat their ass. If this girl whooping his ass properly, or if his dad is whooping his ass with that rod, he ain't gonna be doing all that acting out that he was doing.
No.
Nah, because soon as he do that, she gonna get on the phone. Hey, this little nigga over here tripping, come straighten him. So whatever mental or whatever it is, dad gonna come and straighten that if dad ain't in prison or deceased or in this city.
Mm-hmm.
So the elder, listen, man, and here we have ways of going outside the box and follow the breadcrumbs. And the elder is following the breadcrumbs on the mother and behavior that lines up with why the potential dad, not potential, but the dad, the elder may be on the footsteps of one of the potential dads. And this is what we do, man. Again, Exodus 20 and 12 tell you honor thy parents and your days live long. This 10-year-old murdered his mother. I want y'all to pause and think about what we're saying. And they was going to believe him when he said that the gun accidentally went off. But his family was like, So this dude been a badass kid. Why was the dad or no male figure was ever put in this child's life to help him get himself back in the straight and narrow? This is what we're dealing with here, man. Now we get it in Ephesians 6 and 4 and tell you provoke not your child to anger. We get that, and I'm compelled to believe at some point the mother provoked this boy to anger. Did she provoke him to anger by not buying his game, his headset? No, that's just a mother saying no. Can't get everything. Provoking your child to anger would be doing things purposely to anger him, to upset him. And that ain't what we call for to do. Again, this 10-year-old has a father. No one has mentioned his name. No one has said where he is. But it's very important that the father be mentioned. It's very important because you are of your father. And right now, based off of what this 10-year-old has did, if there's ever been a time where he needed his father, it would be right now. This would be the best time for this 10-year-old to be in the hands of his father. Now, they say that this child was seeing a therapist. That's what the reports say. The grandmother is stating that this the mother was taking this 10-year-old to therapy. What type of therapy? What type of therapy would be the question, because for him to go as far as what he did by shooting his mother in the face, killing her, that would imply he had some serious issues going on, which he should have been monitored way more careful than what ended up happening. And then how is it? The report says that on several occasions he would steal his mother's credit card. How is he able to do that? After one time, the mother's supposed to be able to hide her credit cards or put her credit cards or whatever. Any debit cards, credit cards should not be readily accessible to where this kid can go get that. Why do you have a gun in the house with a 10-year-old? Now, you got a gun in the house to protect you and your son. That gun should be somewhere where he does not have access to it, nor does he know how to get to the gun. For him to steal your gun safe and go get the gun and then kill you with it, it's just too many things ain't adding up. Too many things ain't adding up, man. And like I said, if you're a sister out there, I'm talking to y'all right now. If you have little boys, make sure you in tune with them boys, man. And if they got issues, address them. Because this 10-year-old boy is allegedly, this is the grandmother's testimony, that this 10-year-old boy that murdered his mother, which would be her grandson, she said that the 10-year-old boy hear little girls' voices in his head that tell him to do certain things, certain bad things. Not making this up, y'all. But the grandmother said the boy told her that he hear little voices in his head, little girl voices in his head that tells him what to do. And then he also has another voice that's considered to be a grandparent voice or something to that magnitude. But in a nutshell, the grandmother was stating that this kid is motivated by voices that he hears in his head. So if this 10-year-old boy is got a mental illness to the point where he's hearing voices in his head, how is he not in a facility getting that addressed? How is he still at home? How is he still able to go to school? How is he able to function like normal 10-year-olds with that going on? Brothers and sisters, how can that be? Something ain't adding up, man. So what are we saying, man? You mothers out there and you fathers, pay closer attention, man, to your children, man, to their behaviors, to their habits, to things that they doing. Both of my daughters is 28 and 23. 28 and 21, I'm sorry. My youngest daughter, which is 21, just turned 21 a couple weeks ago. Thank you, Lord. And so now my oldest child has my granddaughter who's 11, and now she just had my grandson who was 2 months. So when you hear stories like the story that I'm talking to y'all about, you have to look at your grandchildren now and make sure that your mother, your son or daughter, whose child this is being nurtured properly, is being cared for properly, is being taken care of properly, and making sure that their well-being is intact, making sure they don't have no weird energy or any type of mental disorders, anything of that nature. You need to watch for that. And for this boy to be 10 years old, that means for this boy to be 10 years old and was quote unquote seeing a therapist, that means that he probably was younger than that when this started happening. But obviously whatever therapy quote unquote he should have been getting or was getting was not helping him, because he still took it as far as killing his mother. That's a no-go. Again, Exodus 20 and 12 tell you, honor thy parents, man. Honor thy mother, honor thy father. And if you're able to do that, the Lord will extend your days, man. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's the nuts and bolts of it, man. Now, I'm going to get you this Proverbs 30:17, man. The elder, man, the elder crashed, and that happens. Sometimes I crash, and then he had to ride the ship. So I'm going to ride the ship today, man. And in that Proverbs 30:17, it says, the eye that mocketh at his father and despiseth to obey his mother. The ravens, that's my daughter's name, by the way, Raven. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. You see that? Let me say that again. It says, the Proverbs 30:17. The eye that mocketh at his father and despiseth to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. Listen to that, man. The eagle's gonna eat your eyeballs, man. Any of you kids out there, and you parents need to, these are the type of scriptures that you need to introduce your children that's under 18, especially 10 years old. These are the type of scriptures you need to indoctrinate them with, so they understand Don't ever cross that line of disrespect. Don't never cross that line of despising and not honoring the father or the mother. This is what comes with that. It's not a game, y'all. What are we talking about today, man? The tragedy of a 10-year-old boy that murdered his mother in cold blood, man. And after he murdered her, he still commits to take her credit card or her Amazon, goes into her Amazon account and order the headpiece that she refused to get him, which is what drove him to enough rage to kill her. Something's wrong with that picture, y'all. Something is wrong with that picture. So today, this whole word is based off of sisters and brothers who have children understanding, man, what these children are out here doing today. This 10-year-old boy is charged as an adult due to the severity of the crime he committed and everything that came with that, how he put it together and all that, man. Sad, sad, sad. We got one more video, man, and we're gonna get ready to close this word out, man. We're gonna check the time and we're gonna come back one more time and we're gonna blast y'all with this last word, man. Hold on.